Welcome back to Cherry Lake. We bring you a brand new exciting thriller from the brilliant minds of Matt Kennett and George Tabaris, with editing, sound effects, and music by the great Jared Zingsheim. This is the first ever Hip Dad Radio scripted radio program, starring the amazing talents of Lydia Handman as Sally Greer, Luke Sharkey as Bernard Clifton, James Burnham as Tucker Domingo, Emmy Kennett as Meredith Greer, Jared Zingsheim as Dr. Von Kraken, Doug Hall as Harry Greer, Reed Rinaldi as Griff Cannon, Lauren Sheeman as the Butler, and I'm your host, Curtis Hines.
Ugh, my coffee's cold. I wish I had a coffee that could stay warm all day long.
Hello, good sir. Bob Jingle Janglington of Floja's Coffee here. I do believe I have just the solution to your predicament. Our coffee is picked at peak ripeness and combined with a special secret blend of insulating fibers to ensure a hot cup of joe all day long. Floja's, it's just the ticket.
Don't forget to start your day with the Floja's coffee.
Cherry Lake is a tale of intrigue and mystery in the perfect quaint town of Bondville, Michigan, known for their delicious cherries. Last episode, we met the tenacious young reporter of the high school paper, Sally Greer, trying to uncover the truth behind the graffiti problem at Bondville High, where she suspects the bomber gangs led by Griff, a nasty fellow. Meanwhile, Sheriff Murphy and his police department continue their search for the missing group of young men and now a missing Officer Ward. At the scene of the crime, they came across some clues, such as a mysterious trail of cherry pits leading right to the lake and a talkative dog Scooter. Without finding Ward, the sheriff starts to get worried about him, along with the other missing boys. But much to his chagrin, the mayor appears to only be concerned with politics. These two worlds collide as Sally meets with the sheriff to discuss the graffiti problem, while his mind remains on more pressing but secret case of Ward's disappearance. At the end, we left off with the Greer family in the midst of the heated exchange, but someone calls their telephone and interrupts a sacred family meal. It was Harry's boss at the nuclear power plant, Bernard Clifton. What could he be calling about so late? Keep listening to find out this and more, all in another exciting episode of Cherry Lake.
Hello, this is the Greers. Oh, Mr. Clifton? To what do I owe the pleasure this fine evening? Okay, I'll be right over.
Harry rushes back into the room, looking a little worse for wear.
Well, it looks like I have to go into the plant. Bye, you two. Wait, where's Sally?
She ran upstairs crying. You need to be a little more understanding. She's getting older, and it's her last year with all of her friends in high school.
Meredith, I'm just a man. I can't think like you women do and deal with the problems. I put the food on the table and let you deal with raising Sally.
Harry, this is the 20th century. You cannot treat me like that.
Harry starts leaving the room. He has too much on his mind to deal with all this, and what Clifton told him sounded serious.
And where are you going? You can't just leave right now.
I already told you. The plant. I'm sorry, honey, but I really have to go. Bernard never calls this late, so it must be urgent.
Harry leaves in a huff, feeling bad that he's leaving behind his wife during a trying time for the family, but he knows he must go. Getting into his car, he drives toward the Clifton estate. Located on the highest point in town, the winding road through the dark forest at night gives Harry a creepy feeling. So Harry decided to turn on the radio and tune into Hip Dad Radio. Nothing eases the nerves quite like the delectable sounds spun by the very best DJs in the business. Now completely relaxed and focused, Harry approached the estate. Why Clifton designed his house that way, he has no idea, but it looks like a castle. And the stormy weather outside added to a scene right out of Dracula. Harry apprehensively gets out of his car and approaches a massive wooden door complete with giant bronze door knockers. Who did this guy think he was?
Good evening. Who goes there?
Hello there. My name is Harry Greer, and I believe I'm expected.
Ah, yes, Mr. Greer. Please come in. Let me take your coat.
Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome. Please follow me, Mr. Greer. Mr. Clifton is waiting for you in the library.
Harry and the butler walk down to Grand Hall to Clifton's library. It is very dark and only lit with candles. Why would someone who runs a nuclear power plant not be using electricity to light his own home?
Ah, Harry, come in, come in. Sit over here by the fire with me.
Thank you, Mr. Clifton. It's always an honor to come to your home.
Please, call me Bernard. Mr. Clifton was my father.
Great, I will. Bernard, is everything okay? I came here as soon as I could.
We'll get to that, but for now, can I offer you anything to drink? Some cognac, perhaps?
Of course.
Edmund, would you please get us a bottle of the Louis XIII from 1934?
Wow, you don't have to waste your good stuff on me. I don't know the difference.
Oh, nonsense. Only the best for my close colleagues. It's high time you are recognized for all the great work you do at the plant.
Sir, pardon the interruption. Here is the Louis XIII cognac from 34 as requested.
Very good. Harry, lift your glass with me. Let us celebrate that only in this greatest country in the world could we sit here today with the freedom and dignity to enjoy the finest that man has to offer. With hard work and dedication, everyone can achieve greatness. But only the strong like us will triumph. So I say, to us.
I'll drink to that. So, Bernard, sorry to bring it back, but...
Now, Harry, tell me, are you a man of faith?
Well, of course. I'm a proud Christian. My family goes to church every Sunday.
Good, good. Now tell me, do you believe that every man is created in God's image? See, in the Hebrew tradition, that is not so. To them, only they are the chosen people, and all others are not. But then there was one Hebrew who did not preach that. He forged a different path, decreed that all men are God's children. All men deserve heaven after death.
Are you referring to Jesus?
Yes, very good. You are a man of faith, I can see. Now, let's say another man came along, one with a very similar message, but this one does not require waiting until death. Heaven can be achieved right here on Earth. It is only the next logical leap forward on the grand timeline of humanity.
Sorry, I don't really understand, Bernard. What are you trying to get at?
Well, what if we were not constrained to the physical forms which we were given at birth? What if we could use the world around us to create better selves? Selves that can achieve even greater things than ever imaginable. Why waste the gift of science God has granted us on frivolities and nonsense when so much more is at stake? What if I, Bernard Clifton, could do such things? Harry, what would you do if you had this power?
Well, I've always wanted a boat.
No. Think bigger. Think about this on a global scale. Did Jesus buy a boat for himself?
Well, what would Jesus need a boat for? And unlike him, I can't walk on water.
Think about the good one could do with the power to change the world. There's a grave threat out there to humanity, and it is an existential threat of the highest level. The communists will stop at nothing until they destroy every freedom and culture in the world, especially the greatest freedom and culture found in America.
So you can single-handedly destroy communism? I don't understand how that could destroy an ideology.
Ideologies are won and lost in only one place: the battlefield. Sure, we have yet to confront the USSR directly, but it is only a matter of time, and only one of us can survive. We fight in proxy wars such as Korea, but in the end, it will be Russia and America, and we need to be ready.
Wow, you really think there will be a war with Russia? That would be World War III, wouldn't it?
From what I learned in the Second World War, every advantage we can muster is needed at such a critical time. That is what I have been doing, and that is why I have requested you meet me here tonight. Here, I have some pictures to show you. Take a look.
Clifton hands Harry a few pictures showing what appears to be strange, almost mutated-looking humans. Harry isn't sure what exactly he's looking at, but it almost looks like these creatures are in some way part human.
What are these, Bernard?
These are my children, Harry. Not biological, mind you, but adopted and raised with the steady hand of science.
What have you done to these poor kids?
No, it's not what I have done to these kids. These are gifts I have bestowed upon them. Gifts that have granted them amazing strength and power. These are the gifts that will one day give America the edge it needs to once and for all stamp out injustice in this world.
Who are these subjects?
Well, I don't mean to alarm you, but you may have heard reports of missing boys in Bondville.
These are the missing boys?
No, they are merely volunteers. I explained to them the power that they could hold, but that they must be under my supervision. These don't always go flawlessly, and they know that. And for one in particular, his power exceeded my every expectation. And this is where I need your help, if you are so inclined.
What do you mean? What happened?
All right, Harry. Well, you know I don't like beating around the bush. I'll get right to the point. One of the subjects has escaped.
Escaped? Where?
Within the plant. As the lead architect, I need your help knowing the ins and outs of the plant to track down and take him back into safekeeping. Until he is found, unfortunately, I will have to suspend operations of the plant, so this is an urgent matter. If you would meet me there first thing in the morning, we will search the plant. I need you, Harry. We need to make sure our secrets do not go out, or the communists may get their hands on them. And Harry, it goes without saying, but remember to keep this between you and me.
Of course, Bernard, but what if the experiment escapes his plant?
If that happens, God help us all.
That's some revealing information. Powerful stuff from the most powerful man in Bondville. Maybe we'll learn more about these experiments and the subject that escaped. But for now, here's a message from our sponsor.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to experience a sport like no other. We're here to bring you the ultimate icy showdown that will leave you on the edge of your seat. That's right, it's time for the heart-pounding, stone-sliding, broom-sweeping action of curling.
That's absolutely right, my friend. We're diving headfirst into the world of precision, strategy, and frozen finesse. Curling, where strategy meets sweeping, and where ice transforms into a battlefield of wit and skill.
It's like chess on ice, George. A masterful blend of power, finesse, and teamwork that will leave you mesmerized.
And what's the objective, you ask? Well, it's simple. Teams of 4 players take turns sliding those hefty granite stones down the sheet of ice towards the target, known as the house.
But hold on to your hats, folks, because it's not just about launching stones. Oh no, enter the sweepers, armed with their trusty brooms, frantically sweeping the ice to control the stone's speed and direction.
It's like a graceful dance between the stone, the sweepers, and the ice itself. A harmonious ballet of physics and dexterity.
And let's not forget the strategic element. Every move counts as teams position their stones strategically to outmaneuver their opponents.
And when those stones start to cluster in the house, Tension builds like you wouldn't believe. It's like watching a suspenseful movie, except it's happening right before your eyes.
Absolutely, George. Curling is a sport that demands teamwork, communication, and nerves of steel. These athletes are not just battling the elements, they're battling for victory.
And remember, folks, curling is a sport for everyone. Young and old, novices and experts alike can enjoy the thrill of the curling sheet. So gather your friends, grab a broom or two, and let's get sweeping.
That's right. Whether you're watching from the stands or trying it out on the ice, curling is a sport that's sure to sweep you off your feet. So tune in, join the excitement, and witness the magic of curling in action.
Sunday nights on Hip Dad Radio, you can catch curling, where ice meets strategy and where stones glide to victory. Don't miss out on the sensation that's sweeping the nation.
We return to Bondville High School. The next morning, we find Sally and Tucker in the school gymnasium. Right now, we watch a graffiti getting cleaned by the janitor, but it still isn't clear who was behind the mess. At least not clear to everyone besides Sally.
I'm telling you, Tucker, it was one of those dang bombers.
I don't know. The graffiti reads "School is for chumps." A lot of students think that.
I was at the drugstore yesterday, and Mr. Bruford told me that Jack was in there buying spray paint.
Is Jack in the Bombers? I thought he was on the basketball team.
Well, he sits with them at lunch. They must be getting friendly.
Yeah, true. Sally, are you planning to go to the Cherry Fest?
Of course I am, Tucker. I go every year. You know that.
Yeah, I know. Well, I was kind of hoping that maybe this year we could...
Look down there, under the bleachers.
Sally notices that the bombers have just shown up to their usual hangout spot. Right under the bleachers Sally and Tucker were sitting on.
Sally, you knew they would be here, didn't you?
Yes. Shh, let's listen.
Okay. Listen up. We have an official new bomber among us. I can't believe it, but pretty boy Jack actually tagged his daddy's cop car last night. So tonight, let's make it official. Meet at Cherry Lake at the regular spot, 10 p.m. Don't be late.
Where was that again, Griff?
You idiot. You know where it is. You know, right by the old totem pole off Cherry Lake Drive.
That's right, Griff. Thanks.
I hope you guys can get it through your thick skulls to be there tonight. I want to make Jack freak out.
Aw, man, but the big match is on TV tonight. Are we gonna miss it?
Yeah, my parents are letting us have the TV at my place. I got chips, soda, and we're all ready to go.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, we can be there and back in no time, right? We can catch the end?
Damn it, Griff. This match is a big deal. I was really looking forward to it. It's not every day we get to watch.
Yeah, let's blow this off. Is this Jack kid really worth it? Seems like some brat to me.
Fellas, relax. We'll head to the spot, initiate the guy real quick, and head home. I mean, how long could it take?
Forget it. I'm out. I'm not missing this. You guys go have fun.
All right. You guys leave me no choice. If you don't show up, you're out of the Bombers. That's it. I don't care how much we all love curling.
Fine. I'll be there.
Hey, Punk, what about you?
Yeah. All right.
You guys think Manitoba is going to take it tonight? I heard Fredrickson is injured.
Yeah, and the rest of them suck when it comes to sweeping. Like I always say, curling's all in the broom work.
I don't know. The skipper really has to use a good throw before any sweeping even matters. Sure, the acceleration is key, but accuracy is the name of the game. That's why I still think Manitoba can take out Toronto. That skipper LaRoque really has a great throwing motion.
Okay, let's go. Looks like they're just talking about curling now.
Yeah, that's interesting.
As useful info starts to end and curling conversation begins, Sally and Tucker have heard enough to know where they need to be to get more clues from the Bombers. Who knew the Bombers were so into curling? Well, I did. That is the job of the narrator, after all. For now, we turn back to Harry Greer and Bernard Clifton as they get ready to pursue the missing subject. They plan to meet at the entrance of the nuclear power plant. When Harry approaches the plant, he sees an unfamiliar sight. There are dozens of armed guards instead of the usual single unattentive guard he's used to seeing wave him in.
Hello, are you going to let me in?
Sir, the plant is closed today, even for authorized personnel. We have a random maintenance check issued by Mr. Clifton himself.
Interesting. Well, my name is Harry Greer, and I'm here at the request of Mr. Clifton. He should know I'm coming.
Very well. I'll need to make a call.
After waiting some time, Harry starts to become impatient. And what better way to pass the time than in the car than turning on Hip Dad Radio?
All right, you're good to go, Mr. Greer.
Great. Thank you very much.
Harry pulls up to his normal parking spot and sees Clifton waiting outside with a few guards and a mysterious man whose face was completely wrapped in medical tape.
Good morning, Mr. Greer. How are you? I hope the new guards didn't give you much trouble.
Good morning, sir. Not at all.
Well, let's get right to it then. I'd like to introduce you to my associate, Dr. Von Kraken. He's been assisting me with the experiments. He, more than anyone else, has spent the most time with the subjects themselves. A bona fide expert, if you will. And Doctor, this is Harry Greer, lead architect of the plant.
Nice to meet you, sir. I don't mean to pry, but what's with the bandages? Are you okay?
And nice to meet you as well. And please, don't be alarmed. We will explain in good time.
Now that we have these pleasantries out of the way, we must get moving.
Hold on here. I'm seeing all of these armed guards. What exactly are we trying to find? Is this subject dangerous?
Doctor, why don't you fill Harry in?
Very good. Now, Harry, this subject is one of our most successful experiments yet. So successful, in fact, that he has grown stronger than the cage he was put in. The goal of the project was to create a super soldier, and we have succeeded in 2 of our 3 objectives. Strength, check. Endurance, check. However, discipline, severely lacking. What was once an everyday American, a father, a husband, patriotic as can be. Well, he's become a shell of what he once was. Where once he had control over his desires, he now brazenly acts on every whim. We have created a monster.
What? A monster? What am I getting myself into?
And he's hungry. Hungry after gaining a taste for human flesh. We have already lost multiple guards. That should hopefully explain the extra manpower we have on display here.
So let me get this straight. There's a literal monster on the loose in an already dangerous nuclear reactor. And you're asking me, a 45-year-old architect that never left a desk in my life, to chase this thing down?
Now, Harry, take a deep breath. I know this is a lot to take in. There comes a time in a man's life when he can turn the course of history. Not everyone has this opportunity, but you, Mr. Greer, do. We need you because we believe you have the knowledge to find where he's hiding. Do not be alarmed. We brought these guards to protect us. We only need you for your knowledge.
Well, I suppose I know this plant very well, but knowledge? I don't know about that.
We believe he is in the vast complex of cooling pipes that you yourself designed. We are unable to locate him after trying for some time, but I believe you can help us with that.
He's in the pipes? How did he get in there? I don't believe I designed them to be accessible.
Well, you may not have, but I did. After your architectural designs were approved, I had additional areas added on. After all, I needed room for these experiments.
Where? I don't remember there being room in the floor plan for such a space.
We went in the only direction that had room, the lake.
The lake? That doesn't seem like it would be up to code.
You must understand, Mr. Greer. We have to keep this off the books. We cannot let anyone know of this, even you. It was the only safe way. And now, I believe we must get moving. There's only so much time before he escapes into the outer world, and then our project is ruined.
And the people of Bondville would be in grave danger?
Yes, of course. That goes without saying. Now, let's go, shall we?
I guess so. Lead the way.
The group enters a building and heads towards the cooling pipes into the back of the power plant. As they walk by the main reactor in the control room, it's weird to see the plant completely empty. Harry Greer was used to the routine of entering the plant and going about his normal work, and this is not what he was expecting just days ago, I'm sure. As they walk through, Mr. Clifton begins filling in Harry on some of the important details on where they believe the lost subject is.
So, as I was saying, we believe the subject is in the cooling pipes, specifically one of the cooling pipes on the northwest side.
Do you have any idea where he is or where he's going?
That's as close of an estimate as we have.
If I may jump in here, I would imagine he is quite hungry. Being the size of 3 men with an appetite to match, he might have noticed smells of food coming from the cafeteria.
Well, the cafeteria has no connection to the cooling pipes, so in order to get there, he would have to go through the emergency power generator room. If he gained access there, it could be catastrophic for the plant.
Let's head over there then.
The group now quickly and quietly heads over to the power generator. Their plan is to intersect the lost subject there in order to maybe stop the subject from leaving the pipe he's most likely in. As they approach, they start noticing some strange noises.
What was that?
Hold your fire!
Well, it appears we are getting closer to finding our lost friend.
That sounds like he's still in the pipe, so at least some good news.
Quickly then, we're almost there. We have to get to the generator before it's too late.
Nervous speed walking turned into an all-out sprint as they desperately try to beat the escapee to the generator room. Will they make it? Let's find out. Right after this short message from...
Martha, I want a divorce.
But why?
You've lost that twinkle I fell in love with all those years ago.
But I'm just so tired all the time. I just can't keep up with all the family's needs.
Hold on there, folks. There might be another way. Hi, I'm Dr. Finkelberg, spokesperson for the new miracle housewife drug, Relaxinol. If your wife is experiencing tiredness, depression, or a general sense of meaninglessness, talk to her doctor today about Relaxinol. Nothing will bring her back to her usual self like Relaxinol.
Martha, put those papers away. Our marriage is saved.
I feel better already.
As you return, the group makes it to the large generator and it appears that they beat the lost subject there.
Looks like the generator is still intact. I think we beat him here. Now, what's the plan? I think he's in the cooling pipe over there.
I agree, Harry. We must delve into the pipes.
How are we so sure? He could have easily passed through toward the cafeteria without harming any equipment. I would like to investigate the cafeteria first.
All right, very good. We can split up. I believe we have enough guards to do so. Doctor, you can take a guard with you to the cafeteria while Harry and I continue into the piping.
As Von Kraken heads towards the cafeteria, we will stick with Harry Greer and Bernard Clifton as they venture into the entrance to one of the many cooling pipes in the plant. As they venture deeper into the pipe, trying to remain silent, they begin to hear noises again, getting louder. Guys, I have a bad feeling about... Run! The group, now down to 3, runs back towards the generator. They continue to regroup with Von Kraken and the other guards in the cafeteria, but as they do, the subject does not follow.
Hello, are you all okay? What's happened? Did you see the subject?
This isn't a subject, it's a monster. We watched as he easily tore through one of the guards.
We sadly lost Thompson. God rest his soul. It doesn't appear that he followed us here, however. He must be back there.
What should we do?
What should we do? We should run. There's another exit this way. We can still make it if we hurry.
Run? We have him right where we want him. We're so close to taking him.
Ah, what happened? The power's out.
Bet it's our subject. We need to find him quickly if he's damaging the generator room.
Why don't I try talking to him? This is my creation, and therefore my responsibility. But don't let that stop the rest of you from saving yourselves. I will go back alone.
Are you sure, Bernard? At least have one of the guards give you their rifle.
Nonsense. I've never needed a gun before when talking to my creations.
Mr. Clifton makes his way back to the generator room. Upon arriving, he sees no sign of the lost subject, and he grows worried. What would happen to this poor subject out in the open world? Apparently, the fact that the subject viciously killed and ate his bodyguard didn't faze him.
Hello? 1219? Are you out there?
Clifton doesn't hear any response. He walks up to the generator room of the plant that is badly damaged, then turns to see a large opening to the outside of the plant.
God help us all.
God help us all indeed. It appears that the monsters escaped the plant and are free to roam amongst us. What will happen to the residents of Bondville? Will they be safe from the impending disaster? This could not have come at a worse time, with the big basketball game and the Cherry Festival both around the corner, bringing in crowds that may turn into unsuspecting victims of this monstrosity of a science experiment. But a monster escaping isn't on the top of the mind for most residents. They're blissfully unaware. Sally and Tucker are merrily on their way to investigate what they believe to be the biggest story of the year, one of the at-large graffiti artists from their high school. Little do they know their world might just flip upside down next week on Cherry Lake.